Well, here we are again. It's episode 2 of how to make a boomerang factory, should you want to. So we've been really busy this week. It's been crazy, and we're both on the verge of a nervous breakdown, really, but we're getting there. Graphicked up the car, so the car now looks like a massive boomerang, sort of, if boomerangs were straight with blue bits on. So that was cool. And then the main thing we've done this week is getting rid of the 2 big t-shirt printing machines, well, the printing press and the dryer. So it's all very different in here now. This is Kalijah. This is a tobacco store Indian he's from Milwaukee. He's about 150 years old, and he's now going to be in here and just make sure that everything works properly. Last time I was clearing out this area so that we could build this stud wall monstrosity, which I've nearly finished. I put a really nice glass door on it, which looks cool, and we're going to put a logo on there and stuff. But if you want to come in here, so a bit like the Death Star, we're kind of 70% operational at this stage, but very quickly we've got, so previously I was doing this in an 8-foot by 5-foot shed in my garden. So although this is still quite small and compact, it's absolute luxury. It's 9 feet by 17. Anyway, that's the hydraulic press for squeezing the boomerangs. This is what we do the Sky Surfer on. And later this autumn we're going to be doing a really fancy boomerang, like a sort of arabesque shape, strip laminated, which is going to be called the Magic Carpet. So we'll be doing all of that on there. This is the linisher, so we do the shaping, and we've got the extraction here. Got extraction up the top into the big thing. And an extraction down the bottom on a shop vac, and that seems to deal with, most of it, so it's pretty good. Bandsaw for sawing bands. And then under here, that's a little router table. Got a 1982 Dirt Devil Hoover here, which is awesome. And then this is like the finishing table. So we're geared up with, the different random orbital sanders. We've got an electric planer there, and we've got this thing. Neither of us are really sure what this is, but we're going to figure it out, and we're going to use it to make part of the boomerang, I think. So that's that. And then this is your planer thicknesser. So when you're cutting the laminate, the veneers for making boomerangs, we're cutting like a 5mm strip out of big lumps of tree. But before you laminate them together, you've got to make sure that these surfaces are pretty smooth so that your glue has, so it works. So they go through the planer thicknesser there, and that just takes off the top sort of nth of wood, and we end up with a 4mm thick veneer, and they're uniform, and that's really important. If you go straight off the table saw and go, right, I've cut this at 5mm, let's laminate them up, it just doesn't work. Take it from me. And then that's a table saw, which is, all important elements. You can't do any of it without all of them. But the table saw is the beginning of your bit of wood's journey, really. That is where it stops being a tree and starts being a boomerang. It's covered in stuff, so today's job is to make it not be. And by the end of today, I'm hoping that me and Dan will be in here making learnerangs. I've just got another, what have we got, like 400 learnerang blanks have been CNC routed up at my friend Tristan's place. He runs a sort of grown-up print shop on the other side of town, and he's got this router table which cost probably millions. I've no idea. Maybe £1 billion. I don't know, but it's this big thing, and that's what we're cutting out the blanks of boomerangs on. So I'm going to go and pick up 400 of those, and then we're going to get in here and we're going to get on with it. So it's going to be an awesome day. And then if you come out here, so this area here still got a lot of junk in this bit. But today again, all that junk I will make it magically disappear. And this is where the Heidelberg cylinder press is going. 1967 press. I'm a closet Heidelberg press fanatic. This will be the third one I've owned in my life, and they're just beautiful machines. And it's kind of, we've made the excuse of, we've kind of made up a job to warrant having one, really. You know, I can easily go and buy the Boomerang stickers and Will Pearson stickers and things like that. I can just get them done like everyone else does, digital laser cut. No interest in that. We're going to screen print them here, and then we're going to die cut them on the Heidelberg. And really, the only advantage to doing that is it means that I can have need of a Heidelberg cylinder. So yeah, stay tuned, because that is going to be really cool. And then over here, so we got the surface leveling tables. Again, one of my favourite things. This is about quarter of a ton of solid cast iron on a base, and what we use this for, two things really. It'll be used for setting the die cutting plates into the chase for the Heidelberg cylinder to make sure everything's flat, but we also use it for checking tolerance on the Boomerangs. I don't know if you can see this. These are Japanese, and they're extremely high precision, and what it is, it's what you would call a step wedge, sometimes called a Stufer wedge, and basically once you get to that point there with that black dot, that's 1 mil, that's 2 mil, so you can go around and you can have a standard for tolerance on your Boomerangs, and so every time you just go around and check that you're there, because a twisted Boomerang is a Boomerang that doesn't fly so good. If you've got a level and planar surface that's always constantly level, and you've got one of these, then you've got an absolute standard there. Over the top, probably, but again, I've got a bit of a fetish for large bits of metal, and I'm constantly looking for ways that I can justify owning them. So surface leveling table. This is going to be the gluing up area where we glue up the laminates and things. And then back here, this is what was already here. This is our one remaining t-shirt line, so 8-colour t-shirt press. We've got a fantastic new t-shirt coming out in a couple of weeks once we get onto it, with Boomer Dude trying his hand at flying an aerobatic plane on it, and it looks like a pickle jar. I'll put a picture, because it's a wild graphic, and it's yeah, they're going to be a lot of fun. So that'll get printed on that. So that's all stuff we already know about. And then over here, so this is like the packing area, which we decided this morning could also probably double up as a bar with beer on it and things. So yeah, this means we've got this space here, so we're fully organised. We can pack Boomerangs, and we've got all of our stock up here. We've got the big. Hold on. We've got the big potato sacks with Boomer Dude on that we post everything out in. Everything's just to hand, and another one of the jobs I'm going to do today is go and get plastic tubs that fit all of these things, like the throwing instructions and the little shirt tags. You know, and all of our sort of ephemera, if you like, we're going to get it all in plastic boxes. It's proper neat. Now I've got this lovely old oak plan chest, and what we're going to do in here is I'm going to like archive, you know, I don't know, every 100 Boomerangs or so, we'll archive one and put it away, and in like 150 years or something, what we'll have is an amazing history of the product and how it developed and different packaging and all that. So this is going to be like the Boomerang archive, which is going to be really cool. Yes, we've done that bit. That's it. That's where we've got to. It's been a crazy week. You know, you can imagine there's only two of us. There's me and Dan here, and you know, we've been doing 14-hour days, up at 5 in the morning, all the way through, getting these big, giant t-shirt machines out of here. That's no mean feat. That's a lot of work. You know, and then the stud walling and stuff. It's been crazy. But at this point, we're kind of ready to start putting the place back together and really work out how we're going to be as a Boomerang factory. And the main thing is it's been loads of fun. And the other main thing is we need to sell some now. So if you're interested in a boomerang, look us up, www.willpearsonboomerangs.co.uk, and see what we got for sale. The website's a bit naff, but we're onto that next, and we're going to show you how we go about developing that. I don't really know how we're going to develop that, so it's going to be like the blind leading the blind. Anyway, more stuff next week. We'll see you then. Thank you very much.